Well, that went well.
I was a little slow on the uptake on that one.
Welcome to the show. It's the Skids Podcast. I am Shane Kopke. I am here with Jim Gage and Kevin McNichols.
Hello.
And together we form the Skids Podcast.
Yes.
I was going to try to
form.
I was going to try to find something cooler than that, but no, that's about all I got.
That's what we are. We're a dead end.
Yes. I've got some more signs that I can bring over too.
Hey, I like them. I like the ones we got. They're good.
I've got more.
Ooh.
We got no parking.
More cool signs. Ooh, yes, we need one of those.
No parking. No skateboarding.
That's a good one.
Sign that's got a bunch of bullet holes in it.
Hey, that sounds cool too.
From this place called Sitzmark. Yeah.
Never heard of it, but I'm down with it.
It's a mountain, and I put that in quotes because it's a fucking hill. And its lift up is literally a rope that you hold onto and ski up the hill.
The locals are like, it's a mountain, man. It's not
crazy.
A hill.
So last week we had a best of because
I hope you guys liked that. Seemed like a pretty well best of put together. Well done, Kevin.
Why, thank you,
didn't you
sir.
start out with my father's death?
That's the best way to start any show.
Yeah,
in fact, let's cover that again. How's your dad doing?
He's still dead.
Oh, well. Hasn't seen that changed much.
Yeah, that's...
You don't have a Necronomicon available?
You didn't think with all that money you just inherited, you might find a way to bring it back.
Yeah.
What money? But, Tim, you were on a vacation.
Yeah, I took what do they call it in the holiday?
Sabbatical?
Yeah, that too. I've been compiling a whole bunch of different stuff to actually do a trip to Yellowstone. It was one of my bucket list things I wanted to get done.
Heck yeah, man.
I actually camped in the in Yellowstone at a campsite there called Mammoth Springs Hot Springs Campground.
Well, yeah,
which is really cool. It was a really nice campsite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rustic, obviously, but still had toilets. So as long as it's got
Nice.
toilets,
Hell yeah.
I'm good to go.
Well, yeah,
But
you
it
don't
was a
want to
lot of
be
fun.
you don't want to be wiping with a pine cone.
It was a long drive. It was 2 days. It's about 12 hours total, but I broke it up into two days. So it was 8 hours the first day and then 4 hours the next day.
Oh, okay.
And then you got your rooftop style.
Yeah,
camping?
I got one of those truck bed racks with a fold out tent for the top of it, and it slept really well. I mean,
Those are
surprisingly well for a tent because it's got its own little built-in not air mattress, but like
does it?
soft mattress in it for it.
Oh,
So
that's
nice.
cool.
yeah, and
So
then
do
I
you
have
like-
a little portable heater, and I just kept right as rain the
First
whole fucking
night,
time.
did you just like pull off the side of the road? And
No,
camp out?
I found a really sweet place in Billings, I think it was, Billings,
Huh.
Montana, called Jim and Mary's RV Park. There's a plug for them.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic
There you go.
people. They're
Great.
such
This
sweet
is now
people.
gonna have a
and it
paid
was
promo.
an RV park as well. But they were really accommodating. I mean, I didn't fit the whole idea of what an RV was. They
Sure.
said no tents, but it's like, yeah, they gave me the exception. And then they didn't allow fire pits, but I had this little portable pellet stove that still produced fire, and they're like, yeah, that's fine as long as it's contained.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, was able to cook my dinner that night, and that was the other thing I really wanted to do. I didn't want to eat fast food the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
So I was able to cook and prepare my own meals and basically live off the land for a while. It was
Do it
pretty
old
cool.
school.
Lots of bacon
Yeah.
and eggs.
Yeah.
Well, it was
preparing for the
sausage.
apocalypse.
And then biscuits, too. And it was wild. At the campground, there's these magpies. Big-ass fucking birds with these huge, long tails. They come up and snatch shit all the fucking time.
Really?
You couldn't leave your food out. They fucking steal it. I even
Damn
had some biscuits
scavengers.
that I was warming up on the actual fire, and the damn thing landed on the grate and grabbed one and took off. I'm like, you fucking idiot. They almost caught fire.
They've probably evolved
Oh,
the
no,
ability
yeah,
to
they're-
fucking
they-
stand
I
on
mean, I'm sure
grates.
they're fed a lot by campers and all that.
Oh,
That's why
I'm
they're
sure.
so bold. But this site was amazing too. Is that I was sitting by the fire second night. I think it was my birthday night, the 8th, and I keep hearing this like whistling or something like that nearby, and it's fucking elk
Really?
walking through the campground. They literally walked right through my campsite,
Whoa.
and it's huge fucking things.
Well, yeah, because everything's open there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing about it. Wildlife here are everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Wow.
wildlife everywhere. Buffalo, elk.
And they
Coyotes.
sounds like they're pretty used to people being
No,
around.
yeah,
so
they don't even flying
you know.
fuck about people around.
See
They
any
don't
wolves?
They care less. No, I didn't see any wolves, and I noticed they did. What was it, 94? They released wolves back into the park.
Yeah.
I
did
saw a
they?
couple wolf prints, and I found tons of bear prints.
Yeah.
But the wolf were pretty elusive. I did see a coyote, and then some. What's the ram? Is it rams?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they have
Pronghorn
rams
or
there.
whatever the hell they're called, or
Oh,
something like
really?
that. Yeah, white butt rams. Or sheep.
Pronghorn,
Hey,
I think,
that's
are.
I can't remember
That's
what they're
cool,
called,
man.
but yeah, tons of wildlife there. And that's the thing about Yellowstone. I don't know if that's year round, but at least when I went, it was kind of half of it was shut down because of the snow and all that. So it was still kind of raw. But you could look around and see all this beautiful scenery, but everywhere you looked
that?
was just piles and piles of shit.
It's an,
Oh,
it's an
really?
antelope.
Yeah. Just shit everywhere. I'm talking all over the streets, all over the side of the hills, and just peppered with shit.
Damn.
So you're looking at this huge, mountain range, and it's just beautiful, and trees and waterfalls,
And then
and just peppered with shit. shit.
Bring this up.
everywhere. So it was yeah.
So-
But it was a really cool experience, and I stayed. I didn't get to see all of Yellowstone. I just saw there what was called Mammoth Hot Springs, which is a really cool site too, because I've never seen anything similar to like a geyser or anything like that. But Mammoth is more like a hot springs that's really elevated, and it's got tiers that go down like stairs.
Oh, that's
So there's all
badass.
these pockets of hot pools. You obviously can't access them, but there are some areas where you can get relatively close to them.
Is it better than Bagby?
Oh, Jesus, yes. I mean, Bagby's cool because you can actually soak in them.
Sure,
But
sure.
there's a place nearby that they actually, quote unquote, well, they say they do, but they pipe all the hot springs to this one resort that you can actually soak in.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
So I did that for my birthday too, and that was really cool because there was this whole treatment where you'd soak in the hot spring, and then you'd walk this pebbled like trench that's cold and hot. A couple times, and then you take a cold plunge and then get back in the hot spring. I did that several times. and
Oh, that's cool.
It was,
How is cold plunge? I've heard it's
oh my God!
great.
It's well, out of a fucking hot spring and then to a cold plunge.
Yeah.
It was shocked.
Well, that's the
Uh,
thing. It's
fuck.
supposed
That's
to be
good for you,
excellent
though.
for your body.
Yeah.
They said this procedure or something like that's supposed to help with healing and a whole bunch of other stuff. Because I mean, obviously, this is like 2 or 3 days into my trip, and I'm sore as fuck because I'm fat and I'm walking everywhere because I want to see some shit. I don't want to fucking drive up this trail.
No.
I don't want to. I want to hike the place. So
You don't
I
want
spent
everything to
lot
be
of
a
time
a
walking.
pass me by.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only thing that sucked about the drive was all this beautiful scenery that I couldn't really enjoy. So on my way back, I made sure to pull over and check out some really cool sites that I was meaning to see on the way up. It was like, oh, this would be really cool to pull over and see this, and stopped in this one place called. I fell in love with this place just in Montana as well. But
I love Montana.
it was like a mineral store or something that just opened up, and this couple was adorable.
Yeah.
They were so excited to see someone come in. Like, we just opened this place, we're getting started, but they had like half of it was a museum. I think
Oh,
they had
cool,
like
cool.
Lewis and Clark's grandson's canoe that he built.
Holy shit.
It was nuts. They had and then obviously turquoise and whatever mineral you can think of that's
Yeah.
local to that, and they hooked me up with some cool things for my kids and for myself, and yeah, it was a really
That's
neat experience.
badass.
The trip was beautiful, and I highly recommend if you get the means. Just to drive alone was gorgeous.
Wow.
And then
Here's to
Yellowstone
hoping-
itself
Big Sky,
itself
Montana.
yeah,
Here's to hoping
that's what it was.
that I can actually get the Hummer up and going reliably to drive that. That would
I
be
tell you
fun.
what, though, the gas prices, holy shit! I mean,
Way
it'd have
better?
been cheaper to fucking fly.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Holy
it would have been
shit.
cheaper to fly there and back and rent a cabin. To be honest with you,
Damn.
because it was. Well, I mean, I got a Toyota
But the
6-cylinder, and I averaged about 13 to 14 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
Well, it should be
experience was
pretty good
probably
on
so
gas,
much
right?
better though than flying.
Oh
down
yeah,
and
Oh,
looking at it.
absolutely.
for sure.
for
I mean, if you're the type,
Yeah.
if you're someone that
that's
gets really
true.
bored on road trips, no, that's not for you.
Yeah, see, and I used to love them,
Love road
and what I
trips.
used to do too, like you were talking about how you don't want to pass everything by.
yeah,
Me and my friends would leave like hours or even a day early.
yeah. It's a good
Just
thing
so
to
if
do.
you fucking see something on the way, you're like, no, we're doing
You
that.
can take
Yeah.
your time there. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's how I
Yeah.
ended up seeing Stonehenge here in Washington.
Oh,
in
yeah, the one that-
Ellensburg or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, that's
Gold,
really
is
cool.
It was
there one
actually-
in Goldendale, near Goldendale as well?
It's the
'Cause I've
only
been to
one.
one that's over
I thought
by
it was
Goldendale.
Ellensburg.
The only
wasn't
one
it?
I know
With
of
the
is on the-
college town.
is on the Washington
I don't
side
know.
of the river,
See,
Yeah.
that's the one
and it's
I
up in
saw.
the hills.
That's one I've been to because I had a friend that lived in Goldendale and I went to visit him and the
Could be.
Stonehenge was not far. It wasn't in Goldendale, but it was like outside of it.
Yeah.
Like
It's near
it was-
college town, though, wasn't
I
it?
think so. It's like
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
in
it's like
Maryville.
hills. It's like
Or Maryhill.
Yeah.
dead. It's all dead grass, like yellow on the hills and stuff. But it's a really cool place. I guess my friend was saying that I guess the some of the like cult like Satanist people
yeah.
go there
Yeah,
and,
that's
and
the
do
one.
rituals and
Yeah, that's
stuff.
the one I've seen.
So
No,
that's in
if
Maryhill
you end up
in
going from
Washington.
That's
from
the one. Yep.
from
Yep.
Portland, and then traveling east up the gorge, which also is, if you get the chance,
There's some
gorgeous
great stuff.
It's beautiful until you get to the top where all the windmills are. Then
Yes.
it turns to fucking garbage.
Does look like shit once you
It's
get there.
plain, and then all of a sudden you're just seeing wires everywhere, towers
Yeah.
everywhere, and then a city literally full of fucking towers and wires.
And it's on both sides of the river.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I was like, this is fucking terrible.
And imagine how many dead birds are at the bottom
Well,
of it.
and that's the thing. I'm the whole time I'm thinking this is supposed to be better for the environment, and there's this rat's nest of fucking wires and towers for a city.
No, the
That's
best
fucking disgusting.
the best thing for the
Oh,
environment
man.
would be to go back to nuclear.
Yeah,
Because it
Oh, it
has-
would be.
It can, for a fraction of the cost, it can produce
and
way
less of a
more.
less of footprint.
Way less footprint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no recycling of blades. There's no
Yeah.
There's
Well, and also it's
killing the fucking
Just shoot it
landscape.
into space.
And the only people that have a problem with it are the environmentalists, and they point to the few times that bad things have happened.
Yeah.
Like obviously,
Fallout.
Chernobyl
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But the thing is, those
3
things
Mile
are
Island.
3 Mile Island, Fukushima.
Fukushima.
But those instances are extremely rare.
Not just
And-
that; those were all places that were built before a lot of the newer
Yes.
safety measures.
Right. Yeah, that was the part that I didn't like too much was just that. But again, Montana, beautiful.
Montana's
Idaho,
great.
beautiful.
I've
And
been
if
to
I could-
Idaho.
If
Never
I
to
could,
Montana,
I would
though.
probably go to Montana. This town in Montana, I fell in love with.
And live
you're
there?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
surrounded by the Rockies.
Wow.
360 view of these beautiful.
Oh,
What
mountains.
town
that'd be
was
so
it?
Cool.
I've
'Cause,
googled it several
The,
times.
the only place I've been in Montana and stayed regularly was Butte.
No, this is just
Butte
outside of
sucks.
Butte.
Does it?
But it's beautiful, and the fact that you can just drive through the school,
I don't
the
wanna-
college
actually, I don't know if I even
town.
want to release the name of this place. I don't want anybody to take it over. It's
Don't worry, it's just
that
us
beautiful.
listening to
I
it.
just wanted to be untouched.
But in Butte, if you drive through the college, there's trails in the back that you can go and just shoot right behind the college.
Bozeman.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bozeman's great.
Bozeman.
It's
Yeah.
right before Butte.
Yeah, Bozeman, Montana is
Wow.
this. I mean, it's a bigger place, but it's not too big.
No, it's probably,
But it's got all the amenities you want.
I think 25, 30,000 people.
Yeah, but it's got the views. The views are fucking insane. And you're what? Maybe 4 hours, if that, from Yellowstone.
Well, and the
depending
fact
on
that-
the direction you go in.
The north side of the town, if you cross the main road, is just fucking up the mountain.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's gorgeous. there.
awesome.
I fell in love with that place. I really did.
I could see why. I mean,
Did you-
dude, it sounds like an amazing area.
Did you end up driving any further and see the fucking, what is that statue on the side of the mountain?
The
a s-
fucking smokestack?
No, there's a statue a guy made in like memorial of his wife.
Oh.
It's like a giant statue of
Are you
her.
thinking Red Dead Redemption?
No, it's really it's
Because I found that one in Red Dead Redemption. I didn't
I
find
think they probably took it from that.
But I saw this huge smokestack in a place called Amazon. No, it wasn't Amazon. It was some other. It was some weird name. Anaconda.
Oh,
Anaconda, Montana had this. I mean, the smokestack for some coal mine was insane. It was their draw from the road. You're like, what the fuck is that?
That's the
That's
statue.
so cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I didn't see
That's
that.
I think that's right outside of Butte.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's
So it's,
there's some caves up, the Lewis and Clark caves.
Tribute to his wife, huh?
Yeah.
The only shitty part about that whole trip though was everything was damn near closed. All attractions and
Oh.
everything were shut down because
Just
it
because
was,
of the time of year.
yeah. Mid-April's not a good time to go unless you want to avoid crowds and see a little bit of stuff. But
And be able to actually enjoy it.
yeah, the thing is with the limited time frame that I had, because I mean, if I had 2 weeks, man, I would have probably gone there in the summer and really explored. But
Yeah.
Maybe
a
make
week
that
was long
trip.
enough.
You know,
It'll be down the road. I'm definitely
Yeah.
going back, and it's
Yeah.
going to be with better means and a different approach. Because I want to take my kids, I want to get a cabin, and I want
Yeah,
them to see
hell
all
yeah.
that cool. I want to. I was telling someone I know I want to jack off and spurt the same time that the
Old
Try to time
Faithful
it.
goes
Faithful
off.
does. Yeah, I want to do it tandem. That'd be so fucking cool.
you know what would suck is if
Let's
that
cross that off
actually,
the bucket list.
I really want to get that done.
if that was part of a prophecy, and all of a sudden the fucking
super volcano
super
erupts.
volcano erupts, outpours Satan.
It's all your fault, Tim.
One day a guy named
Ecstasy the whole fucking time.
One day, a guy named Tim will spill his seed,
Yeah, that's
opening the seventh seal of hell.
We'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if you go on that trip and that fucking thing goes off, I'm blaming you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what it's going to be. I was
Yeah.
half expecting it this time.
And you
too.
won't be able to yell back at me because you'll just be dead.
Well, it'll be incinerated.
yeah,
instantly.
immediately.
It's like all the future history books. Like half the world's population was killed, and it's all Tim's fault.
Ejaculated.
No, what were those? What are the stones that were in Georgia? What were those stones that got knocked down, but vandalized or whatever? They said that there's
they're
only going to be
the-
like 500,000 people left.
Yeah, they're like the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah,
or something
the Georgia
like that.
Guidestones.
Yeah,
Yeah. It'd be like that.
I can't believe they did that.
Well, then they went and destroyed them after it. So somebody knocked one down, and then in a week, like the rest of them were gone.
Yeah, that's awful. Those are fucking monuments.
Yeah,
man,
that's
you know,
the-
even though they're creepy.
It's
but,
nonsense.
You know, it's still they're monuments.
There's always going to be that group of people that just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
They don't really care about stuff like that. I mean, I
the
was
Joker.
tempted a lot of times in
Yeah.
Yellowstone to take stuff home with me. I was like, that's so... I found a fucking full skeleton of an elk. Head,
Really?
skull, all of it. Ribs. I mean, the whole thing was intact from a wash they had like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's crazy.
And I was like, I'm taking this fucking skull with me. And then I Googled it and like, yeah, that's big
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
Oh, really?
You get caught pulling something out of Yellowstone, you're getting in jail.
Yeah,
and then
my
never
guess
going back.
is there'd be like fines and shit for like a pine cone.
Yeah, they don't
know what I
want
mean?
that at all. I mean, they do allow. One thing I did like is that I could harvest my own firewood, as long as the tree was down and dead. I could pull it and use it for firewood. So I did that.
That's
I mean,
pretty
I
cool.
collected my own firewood for the thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I went to a store and bought an initial bushel or whatever the fuck you
Yeah,
call it.
yeah.
They charged like $10 for it that lasts maybe an hour.
Well, a bundle
Holy
of sticks
shit.
is called.
They f it.
Yo, he said it. He said the word.
Yeah, it's
But context.
Tim likes.
it worked perfectly. This did great.
You're gonna have to bleep out a whole
Actually,
fucking
you know
section.
what? I don't know
it
if
took
we
care of me. That kept me
no,
warm.
I don't know if we would have to because of the context.
It's still not for that reason alone.
Well,
It doesn't matter. Who's
well,
listening,
hey, at
right?
least,
We're on our way out anyway, right? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I'm
I
gonna
get
go
my jack off
outside.
wishes next year, we're definitely out of here, dude.
I'm gonna go outside and smoke a.
The context does
Some wild
matter.
shit's going on though, man. We got some crazy
Oh,
stuff going on.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
it's in
Whew.
2 weeks' time.
I
Shit's hit
found-
the fucking fan.
I
Absolutely.
found Carmelo Anthony's knife.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
That's a collector's item right there.
Yeah. So
That's
I
such
guess
a
we'll.
fucked up story.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. That is.
It's
completely
progressively getting
insane.
more and more fucked up.
Well, so the way that it initially was kind of said was that Austin, what's his last name? Austin Metcalf
Yes.
had him and his brother were like bullying this guy. Like this is the first things that I heard, and that he was defending himself. And I saw a lot of people saying, "Well, it's school property. You shouldn't have a knife." It's like I don't care about that part. I really don't. I care about how it's used. Right? It'd be the same thing with the gun. If the gun is used to actually do something right, fine. If the knife was used to do something right, but the more and more you hear about it, the more you hear about what the police report actually said
Yes.
from fucking Carmelo Anthony's own words.
Right.
You go,
He escalated the situation. It's
Way
like-
too
Wasn't
fast.
it like in a
Yeah.
tent that he wasn't supposed to be or something like that?
Yeah.
They asked him to leave and he wouldn't leave.
Yes.
Yeah, because
So-
they were so there was like apparently originally I heard there was only 2 teams there, but apparently there were like 6 from 6 different like high schools.
and at a track meet.
It was a track
at-
meet,
At a
yeah.
place that's owned by the school, the district or whatever.
Yeah, and so they had all these like sitting areas that were covered by these like kind of the open tents, just the covers.
Yeah,
basically.
canopies or something.
Canopy,
like that.
yeah,
Oh, no.
and Carmelo Anthony went and sat.
Not the
at
basketball
one-
player.
Not the basketball.
Yeah, I got to
player.
make sure you clarify.
Yeah, I
Spell with a
forgot
K,
there's-
not a C.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So Anthony
For more
went
cutting?
over to
Or for more
sit-
knife?
More killing.
For
So-
more knife killing.
So the idea now, originally I heard that he had gone and sat under this tent area for this other team, an opposite high school than
which was
his own.
supposed to be Metcalf's.
Yeah, Metcalf's high school, and apparently they originally said, "Oh, well, he sat under there because it was raining." But then I had read another report that said, no, he actually knew somebody that was
Yeah.
over at that school and may have been over there talking to that person.
From all
or
the
something
photos,
like
it
that.
didn't look like anything was wet.
Yeah, so the
So
whole
where's the
rain thing
rain?
didn't make sense to me after I
Isn't this
heard
in
that.
Texas?
Yeah.
It's crazy how mixed up it's getting.
Exactly.
I think it's done on purpose.
Of course it is.
Oh, absolutely it is. So anyway, Anthony's there under one of the, in this sitting area for this one high school, which is not his high school sitting area, and Austin Metcalf comes up and tells him, "Hey, you're in the wrong area. You got to go. You can't be here. You got to be in your area where your school is." And
what normally might lead to a fist fight.
Yes, and being in high school, I mean, hey, fist fights happen. It's just kind of the natural order of things when you're that age. And this could have been something as simple as just a couple of guys pushing each other around and then
scrapping some dirt.
Yeah.
Scraping gravel.
Well, one of the things that Karmelo Anthony said that makes it look really bad was touch me again and see what happens. Or touch me and see what happens.
Yeah.
As he's reaching into his bag.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess someone tried grabbing his bag and throwing it out, and he stopped them or something.
Yeah.
I guess so. He was grabbed by the shoulder.
He said he was
touched first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's when he pulled the knife. Was when he got touched on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not
even pushed, yanked, or pulled by the shoulder. Not just touched, but he was.
But he
grappled.
He pulled the
whatever.
knife out and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest, and
definitely did.
And then just ran off, and
I think initially tried ditching the weapon.
Did he try ditching the weapon?
I think initially,
okay.
And then kind of turned himself in.
Yeah. He did admitted it when the police found him.
And then on top of it, went up and goes, I don't know if this is self-defense or not. And so you're also, if you watch any shows like with real lawyers and stuff in it, and I'm not talking like, Law and Order. I'm talking like YouTube shit where you're actually watching an interrogation.
Yeah.
Don't say a fucking word if you've done something.
Yeah, no shit.
Yep.
But one of the worst parts of this is that
shut the fuck up.
Is that not only did this kid get stabbed and died, but he died in his twin brother's arms.
Right.
That's the horrible.
Man,
there's nothing about this that's pleasant, Kevin.
No,
all of it's fucking horrible.
But that's just like
adding insult
one of
to
the
injury,
worst
I guess
parts
you
of
could
it.
say.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's awful.
Wouldn't it have sucked though if they were like the twins from fucking Cobra, and like he gets stabbed, his other brother's like, no. Feels
Corsican brothers?
Huh?
The Corsican brothers?
Is that what they're called in G.I. Joe?
Oh, I was thinking
they're from Cobra.
Tommy Chong and Cheech
that
Martin.
Cobra. I thought you were talking about the Stallone movie Cobra for a
No,
second.
there are no twins in that.
No, there's not. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, maybe a
what-
stunt
Well, that's
man
a
or
fucking
something.
reach, Shane. That was a reach and a half, man.
It's not a reach.
I think one person got it.
Yeah. But
It was a reach.
yeah,
not
so
a reach.
Now another thing about this situation is that obviously because it has one of the kid that stabbed the other kid, he was black. The guy that got stabbed was white, and of course there's the racial aspect that's coming into this. So
every
you've got all these
post
people
I've
jumping on one side or the other.
Every post that I've seen about this has gone straight down racial lines,
Absolutely.
which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's insane.
Look, first off, when we get all the information, because I remember the whole George Zimmerman thing. Initially, I was like, that guy's guilty as fuck.
Sure.
Until you got all the information, and I was like, I mean, that is self-defense. Look, I get it. He probably shouldn't have gone and fucking followed this kid, but he then got jumped.
Yeah.
Now maybe later on we find out that they were jumping him, but maybe later on we find out that no, it went the way we think it did initially.
Well, the
where
thing
he
about
touched
it is
him.
the amount of money they've made from this.
They've already moved into a mansion.
Yes, that's
a
the other thing.
$900,000 mansion.
So-
They didn't buy it. They're renting it.
So yeah, that's the other
But
thing.
they also dropped his fucking his bail.
He was
went from
donated.
$1 million.
Yeah, so
down
somebody
to,
got
$250,000.
to a quarter of it.
Somebody set up a Gibson,
Which is only
account.
$25,000 after that, because you have to put
and people started
10%.
donating money to this Gibson Go, and it got up to like $430,000, $500,000.
Way more than that now.
And and so now the family is taking that money and they bought this expensive house with it
And a car.
and a car.
Yeah.
And
They're capitalizing on this shit.
And apparently, and the like you said, the bail, they got it dropped down because they said that they couldn't access the money to pay the original bail, which was going to be like I think it was going to be like $250,000 or something. And they told the judge they couldn't access the Gibson Go money. even though they then did so to get this house and car.
And
Well, they
it's
may not have
absolutely-
been able to at the time.
Maybe not at the time, but the judge ended up dropping it down to like I think $25,000
No,
or
they
something like that.
you
You murder somebody and
to
make a shit ton of money
Oh,
off
one
of
of-
it.
oh,
You know,
okay,
that's
okay.
what's so frustrating
Yeah.
about this thing. You've murdered a kid,
I mean, OJ kind of tried
and
it.
now you got what $900K for it
Yeah.
because people are supporting you.
You're getting a reward for
It's-
murdering someone.
Yeah, and I get the argument. One can say self-defense, but again, we won't know until the actual trial or whatever, if a trial even happens.
Oh, there would definitely be a trial.
because
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are saying the argument is, well, what about Kyle Rittenhouse? The same thing happened
It's,
there.
but
Not
the
even
thing is,
close.
it's not
No.
even the same
Yeah.
situation. Like
He was trying to get away.
yeah, and
he was
also,
running away from his
also,
assailants.
Yeah. Also, this did not take place during a dangerous riot where people burning down buildings.
Yeah.
Have
This
you ever
took
seen a
place-
track meet, Kevin?
It gets pretty heated there, bud.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
balls.
mean, you remember
a lot of hot balls.
Remember the lady that beat the shit out of the other lady?
Oh, I know, right?
Track
Just
meets are
clonked her on
dangerous,
the back
dude.
of the
It's
head.
nuts,
Yeah.
dude.
And then she was a victim. Remember?
Yeah.
She was a victim because her hand got hurt or something
Oh,
because
yeah.
she broke the other chick's skull.
Yeah, she hit the chick so hard it broke her hand.
It's
Oh, poor
insane.
girl. I know.
No one worries about how I feel about the whole thing.
Sure.
How I got hurt. It was crazy. But this is crazier.
I broke
just
a
had,
nail.
you know,
Yeah,
like a
it's
family
insane.
member was murdered, and then the other family is collecting on it.
Yes.
And
they
I've
have-
never heard of anything like that before ever.
No.
I've never
Well,
heard of anything similar.
Me neither. Well, and now they've got this Black Lives Matter guy that's with them, and he's talking to the. To
what a
the-
grift.
Jesus, and that's
Oh
the other
yeah,
thing,
and
too.
he's making it absolutely about race. Like he is just pushing the race grid.
Work
as
it
hard
the
as he
other way.
can.
Switch the roles, and what happens? It's a completely different
It's
conversation.
riots.
It's-
Totally different. Yeah,
it's
you get
riots.
Exactly.
For sure.
You get riots.
It's
you get
peaceful protests.
Yeah.
Fiery
yeah, but-
peaceful protests.
and I mean,
We have mostly peaceful protests,
Yeah.
and then behind them just
and
a wall of
it's-
fucking
yeah,
flames.
and it's totally insane. And you know what? Speaking of this situation, so this happened. Everybody's talking about this one, but a lot of people are not talking about this other situation where this guy in Alabama, he was attacked by he was almost decapitated by this crazy guy that came up and
What the
hit him
fuck? I
in the
haven't seen
back
this.
of the
What's this?
hit him in the back of the neck
It's
with a
because
hatchet.
it's the other way around.
And it hasn't
But
made
again-
news.
Black guy with the hatchet, crazed,
You can put that up on the screen so folks can
and
see
he attacks this guy. This guy was with his wife. They just came back from L.A. They lived in L.A. for a while, and they moved back to Alabama. And they got off a bus like a Greyhound, and this guy with a hatchet just comes up out of nowhere and cuts him in the back of the neck, almost
Oh
takes
my
his head
God.
off. And then the guy, I guess when the cops caught the guy, he said, "Oh, I was really drunk, and I thought I saw him using drugs." It's like, so you hit him with a fucking hatchet and tried to chop his head off?
Oh my
Kevin, you
God,
tried
dude.
attacking cops with a samurai sword.
Not the same.
It's pretty close.
That's insane.
You know,
man.
this guy. So it's Tucson. Sorry, I thought I heard it was Alabama, but they're originally from Alabama. That's what it was.
From
But this
Arab Alabama?
This is in Tucson where it happened, and and I saw an interview with the wife, and she was just like, my husband he bent down to pick up the bags, our bags, and this guy just comes out of nowhere and just slices
Oh
him
my
right on
God,
the back of the
that's
neck.
fucking horrific.
And
What do you do?
and then just walks off. Yeah, and I guess he cut like an artery, and the guy was just
Oh,
bleeding
God,
out everywhere. He's now on life support, and
And
but
he's
it's-
probably not
It's-
going to come
it's
back
like
anywhere
that
near
one
the
gal
same.
we saw the
Yeah.
video of a while back that went into the fucking Walmart with a fucking kitchen knife and stabbed that baby.
oh yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah,
And then just walked back out like no big deal. Yeah.
Same thing
like,
happened on
what
the
the
street
hell?
where that lady was trying to fucking cut kids.
Yeah, it's
Yes, and she ended up getting. I remember we watched the video of her getting arrested and stuff. I think.
I don't know
didn't
if
we?
we watched that one.
We watched the Walmart
Oh,
one.
we watched the
other
Walmart
we
one.
didn't.
You're
I
right,
watched
you're
the
right.
Cutting kids one, but
But it's it's this stuff is happening.
will this
It seems
woman
more
make
and more.
thousands
Yeah.
of dollars? Will she have a GoFundMe for her? I don't.
I wouldn't be surprised if they started a GoFundMe for the Hatchet Man, and he goes.
It
and
was
buys a house.
self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense. I hit the guy in the back.
devil
Yeah,
was
yeah,
coming after him.
Exactly.
He had to protect himself. Fucking A, man.
You
That's
know?
insane, man. That's a terrible thought.
I was trying to clean my hatchat off from all the other
Fucking
cutting I was
crazy
doing.
Yeah.
is that? You're just getting off a bus and your head gets chopped off.
Yeah,
What kind of world do we live in? This is supposed to be United goddamn States, man.
And this stuff is
ISIS.
happening more
Oh God,
and
that's
more.
so
and,
fucking frustrating.
It's just I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, what? Somebody put something in the water? I mean,
It's mind control.
It's El Nino.
MK Ultra.
right?
Yeah, there it is. Man, that's tragic. That whole situation with the other group too, though. This Karmelo Anthony guy's pissing me off. I'd like to see how this unfolds, and I'd like to see all that money returned.
Yeah, I mean,
after the fact.
And I've seen some,
GoFundMe and like within a day fucking canceled that.
Yeah, they did.
Because they have a policy where if you're accused of any violent crime, you can't raise money.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
But Give Send Go said, no, we're gonna keep it open.
Well, I'd rather them either have one rule or the other, but don't pick and choose.
Right, I agree.
Because
Well,
look,
that's how media works. That's how all these things work.
I know it's all just hypocrisy, double standards, and
if you're raising the money for legal defense, there should be laws that say if it's used for anything else, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah. Because obviously that's why these
that's
people
fraud.
are giving money to that.
It's fucking
is
fraud.
For the legal defense. That's the whole reason that Give Send Go was started, and they went and bought a fucking house and a car with it.
Yeah, which is insane.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised they got the
crazy.
money. I'm not surprised how they spend it.
The fact that
This is how
we
generational
aren't
debt
surprised.
is made.
Yeah. But the fact that we aren't surprised about this, I mean, it just illustrates this kind of thing is just happening too often.
Well, how much did George Floyd's family make off of his death?
Oh, God.
Millions?
Yeah.
Out of taxpayers' pockets?
Yeah. And then this reminds me of the BLM thing where the BLM organization was taking in all these donations and they were buying mansions with them.
Yeah, the
For
head
themselves
chick,
and their families.
yeah, the head chick had like 4 mansions.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was nothing but a straight up grift.
Exactly. And they claimed
damn
these
good one.
donations were supposed to go to, needy black families and people like that. And it
Educational
didn't go
purposes
to
and
any
therefore,
of it.
If you run something, you've got to pay yourself something, Kevin.
Yeah, of course. You got to
We
have.
haven't done anything. We're a totally peaceful racist group.
That'll never get old.
No, especially with him standing up there, like dressed up.
I know. But I mean,
hilarious.
this stuff, these things that are going on, it's just crazy, and I just feel like it's escalating. These sorts of instances.
Well, the
keep
news
happening.
doesn't help.
No, they don't.
Well, they sensationalize stuff like this because
Yes.
it gets clicks. It's because
Yeah.
we're talking about it.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but they
true.
also put it in front of our face the first time.
Well, yeah.
You know
but
what I
then
mean?
it spreads like wildfire. It's funny how some things pick up and other things don't, though.
Because
Yeah.
if this happened in the 90s, this would have never made the news here. This would have been a news story in Texas only.
Right.
That's a good point. Well, the Floyd thing, George Floyd.
I think that would have been
That escalated a lot of this.
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
that
All the race baiting
I
stuff.
guess you
is
could
because
see
of
the
that.
George Floyd thing is almost kind of
Well, you even go back to
similar
the LA riots, I guess.
Yeah, the Rodney King.
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah, Rodney
you know?
King helped the element.
well, yeah,
out
that
as
was
well.
like the first time where you actually got to see police brutality.
Yes.
And that was vicious, dude.
Yes.
That was fucked up.
It was
That
so
video
bad.
Well,
was
they beat
wild.
him for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
there's
they
no-
pull him out of a truck. Pull him out of his truck and just beat the shit
Yeah.
out of him.
Yeah.
Because he
Beating
ran
him
from
with
them
billy
or some
clubs.
shit.
Yeah, fucking A, man.
And then that guy, I mean, look, that guy should have got the money that he got out of that one.
Right.
But
that follow-up they did in Minnesota and how Floyd didn't really have a knee on his neck and it
Yeah.
was high as
Well,
hell on
and
drugs.
if you look at the actual body cam footage from the cops, it actually the knee is more up between the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
From the angle that original video was at, it did look like
I remember
he was
seeing
on
the
his
original
neck.
video.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off his neck.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking kill him.
But when
I was
you
screaming at the screen.
Yeah, but when you see it from the actual body cam footage from the other angle, you realize, oh, he wasn't actually on his neck at all. It's just that angle that the video was done.
That whole
at.
thing was so fucked up.
everybody just starts using the fucking, what is it, a time to kill defense. Now imagine he was white.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that is bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, the same thing happened to a guy named Tony Tempo who was white like a couple of years earlier, and nobody cared. Nobody talked
Yeah,
about
that kid that got
Nobody had
tasered
riots.
to death because he was driving too fast, and the cop was just nonchalantly just tasered him held the taser on him for a minute.
Jeez.
Gave him a heart attack, and killed him.
Same thing with that
Crazy.
kid in Arizona that got shot in the fucking hotel. when he's crawling on the
Oh,
ground. and-
that
That wasn't
one
a kid.
was-
That was a dad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
dad
yeah, but he
all
was
a
like
guy-
he was in his
He
20s.
was like an exterminator or something
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
wife.
And the reason that
And
he
he's-
it is girlfriend, but
Yeah.
the reason he had a gun, but it was an air gun because he's an exterminator.
Yeah.
You know?
And he was crawling and like literally crying. Please don't
Pissed
shoot me. Please
drunk,
don't
too,
shoot me.
yeah.
And his girlfriend was there too. Like she witnessed the whole thing.
Yeah, that guy
The
wanted
cop
to fucking
won.
kill him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the
That
cop
cop
on it
was
said,
a
"What?
piece of
What
shit.
was
You're
it on?
fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked."
Yeah.
Right on his fucking on his
AR-15.
Yeah, but it was on the God damn it, the dust cover.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
guy's
that
a piece
that
of shit,
yeah,
dude.
cop was
Yeah,
a monster.
got qualified immunity for it.
I didn't follow up on that.
Yeah,
really.
no,
Did he?
he's still on the force.
Oh my
Oh my
god!
god, there's guys.
They said it was a good shoot.
Pff. Watch the video, douchebag.
I mean, like, look, it technically, you know, it.
It was
the
a good
shooting,
shot. He
the
didn't
shooting,
miss.
yeah, he did. He hit the guy with
he
all
did
those
hit
bullets.
the guy, yeah. So I guess
The
in
bullets
that
did what they were
context, it was a
intended to
good shoot.
do. So
But
Yeah,
but
your
yeah,
marksmanship was good on this one.
Yeah.
and then,
But then, you know,
off to you go.
So we've also got another thing that's been going on, and this is because of the deportations.
oh my fucking god.
You know, first we had that guy that was the Hamas supporter that, you know, he ended up, people were pissed off about him getting deported.
Well, that story died, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, because it turned out he wasn't that sympathetic, because he was actually connected to Hamas and actually doing.
Well, not
like,
just that, he was a green card holder, not a fucking naturalized citizen.
Exactly.
So it's not the same thing.
Right, and there's rules when you have a green card holder. You cannot be connected or, you know,
To a
you can't be
terrorist
working to a terrorist
organization.
organization.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's simple as that.
And
Unless you're driving in Yemen and fucking Obama blows you up.
yeah, right, exactly.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
You can be connected
that time
then,
he,
but
that
we're
time
just-
he killed that American citizen.
Yeah, and his 16-year-old son.
Yes, exactly.
Which had no ties to the organization.
no,
just to
no.
his dad.
Yes. But this new issue, well, it's not. I mean, it's been happening. It's been going on for about a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But the guy's name is Abrego Garcia.
Just call him Maryland Man. That's what everyone's calling
Yeah,
him.
everyone's calling him Maryland Man, but he's actually an El Salvadoran citizen, and he apparently had a deportation order back in 2019 to where I guess he was supposed to be deported and
Right.
never was, and
But not to El Salvador. That was the stipulation. of it.
right, and that's because he apparently
'Cause
was
his gang affiliations there.
gang
He could've-
affiliation, a rival gang
it's
may
like,
have
you're
wanted to
sending
hurt
me
him.
my death.
Yeah, but the only
that.
problem is now El Salvador's been cleaned out because that president, I forget his name, but he essentially arrested like all the gangs and gang members, threw them into that super prison. And so El Salvador went from being like murder capital of the world to being like one of the safest countries on the planet.
I'm still not
very
going.
Short amount of
No.
time.
I won't be there.
But
ever.
but the fact is that this guy could now go back conceivably and not have to worry about threats from other gangs. You know,
Or just start his own.
or start his own.
sent to the prison that has all the fucking
Yeah.
gangs in it. So
Which
yeah, that's
is apparently, I think, what happened.
yeah.
He ended
He's
up going that
not.
way.
He's not there.
Yeah, no,
Probably
no.
dead, yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
he's already in pieces.
Yeah, but the thing is, the you know, a lot
Glue
of
him back
like,
together, send him up.
That's
There's
why
a-
the president of El Salvador is like, look, what do you want me to do? Just
Yeah.
put him
Right.
back.
My
Yeah,
hands
yeah.
are tied.
It's
I
like,
know it's funny too because when that journalist from CNN, you know, the really bitchy one,
Which one?
God, Caitlin Collins, I think. Yeah,
No,
she's smug and just you can't stand her.
asks him if he's gonna
But,
bring, if he's gonna
Yeah,
facilitate him coming back.
yeah, and
With
the
Trump standing right there.
yeah, and the president's like, "What? You want me to smuggle a terrorist over the border? That's not going to happen."
I'm not doing that.
like,
Call it right there. It's like, yeah, that's illegal.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
yeah, but you've got left-leaning media and Democrats that are talking about, you know, like, oh well, this is horrible. This is an overreach. And,
Well, that's the thing is they're saying it's something that it's not. They're
Yeah.
saying this person is a citizen of the United States.
yeah,
They're saying
and he's not.
he shouldn't have been deported at all. Like
Right.
that's the thing. They're saying he's a father figure in Maryland where he's got what, 2. His wife made 2 different reports
Yes,
for
domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Yeah.
And
That's their culture, Tim.
yeah.
You
That's
can't
how they
fucking
yeah,
attack
that's
their
again,
culture.
That's cultural appropriation is what they call it.
No. That's not cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
she's got 2
white guys did that in the 50s. That's when they
That's because the
culturally
women were
appropri-
fucking listening. dude.
Well, yeah,
You
look.
shouldn't fucking repeat yourself in the 50s ever.
You're like, my dinner was slightly cold, lukewarm.
tuna casserole again.
Oh, you're getting a smack, bitch.
We're going to watch our favorite show tonight,
cognac?
Lady Slap.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna watch 2 of it.
and now there's this Democrat senator, by the way, that's saying he's going to go to El Salvador.
Good luck, buddy.
To find the migrant who was deported erroneously by Trump, and that. What are you going to do? You're going to smuggle him over the border?
He says he wants to talk face to face with the guy because I think he's saying what we're all thinking is this guy's dead. There's no proof of existence anymore. Because from what I understand about this prison, nobody leaves this prison. Once they're in, they're in.
Yep, they're in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the most
Yeah.
locked down prison in the world.
There's no release after.
Yeah.
You don't spend a certain time there and then go. No, you stay till you're dead.
Yeah, and I know that
probably happens quickly.
Sure,
Yeah, very quickly.
And
in
I
a
don't know
prison
if
like that.
I think we've watched video of it at one point. Did we?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
Okay, well, I've seen some video showing what it looks like in there, and it's like these guys are all in one big room. They don't even have mattresses.
They just hand each one a shank as they walk in.
Yeah. But all of these guys, when they
Here's
are
your
under
toothbrush
lock
shank.
and key, and it's like, I mean, these guys, like when the guards come in, they all have to stand up and look straight forward.
Yeah, you gotta have order for sure.
And but like I said, they have they just have these metal like bunk beds. There's no mattress, and it's extremely regimented. And so
Someone
once you
should
get
just
in
make
there,
the
you're
prison
screwed.
from Batman.
Arkham? Arkham.
No, the one that the hole.
The one. The one with
Dark
Bane
Knight
came
Rises.
from. Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
the
was
one that
born
should
to it.
Yeah.
You crawled out. No, that was the other chick.
You merely
Yeah.
adopted the dark.
I was
Have you
born
guys seen
to
the
it,
Pete,
yeah.
Pete
Molded
Holmes version
by
of that?
Yeah, not. I've seen his Batman.
Have you seen the? It's great.
Pete
The-
Holmes?
Yeah, the Pete Holmes
Yeah,
one.
those are fucking awesome.
They're-
The Pete
awesome.
Holmes one where he's talking to Bane about and being like, I figured it out. You're the guy that crawled out of the fucking thing, and the chick stabs him, and she's like, but we fucked. I was inside you, remember? Now you're inside me with this cold
That
steel.
whole
It's so fucking
All
great.
man
of-
who talks
his-
through a crab.
All of his stuff is great, man.
Which one of these hoses do you smell out of?
What are
He's
the
got her underwear. He's dangling it in front of his fucking face. It's like, Jesus, dude.
one of the best ones is him trying to find his voice, and he's doing like fucking like Daffy Duck.
Where were the other dogs going?
And then the only reason that he finds the voice is because he's just fucking from trying all these voices gets raspy.
Yeah, those are all hilarious. The one where
Oh,
he ran
yeah.
into Superman was fucking awesome. And Superman said, we should team up. It's like, why? Like, you could break me in half. I literally had my back broke by Blaine.
Yeah.
Or Bane. You could fucking snap his neck while jerking it.
He also
Even
has
Commissioner Gordon's like, yeah, I don't understand. Why would you want to fucking team up with... Oh, I get it. Because you think I'm cool. That's right.
And he
Just
also has
carried
the X-Men and Street Fighter ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
are great too.
Yeah, Holmes is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like his recent stand-up has been more contrived, in my opinion. You can tell a lot of his laughter is really forced. He forces himself to laugh to look funny, like interviews and shit like that. I can't stand that type of fake when it comes to humor. Like when he's overtly laughing at a thing and really exuberant about his
It's almost like he's
performance.
reminding the audience, this is where you laugh
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
you know?
It's like, dude, come on.
I wonder if it's
you're
from
funny.
the-
You don't need to fucking sell it.
I wonder if it's from that or if it's from because he's notoriously like a super nervous guy,
Could be a nervous tick.
and that but it does look the same as what you're describing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean?
He's in the wrong field if that's the case.
Yeah, but he does such good with sketches.
He does great.
He should
sketches.
keep fucking doing a lot of the
He
sketches.
had a show on Comedy Central called Crashing.
No, that was on HBO.
Was
I
that
believe.
HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was just.
I think Artie Lang was on it for a while.
Yeah, even Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
Bill Burr. He had a whole bunch of names that he.
Yeah, he brought in a lot
Crashed
of
with,
lot
I
of
guess.
comedians and shit.
The
And
Bill Burr episode was hilarious
was it? Yeah.
because he had his kid, and Pete Holmes was like, "Oh, they're so sweet. I love babies," and he just starts. Oh, they smell so. And then the lady's like, "Please don't smell my baby." And Bill Burr's like, "Stop being fucking weird."
Yeah, Bill Burr with his fucking Boston
I
accent.
know, I know. I could totally hear him saying that in my head. Like,
We went way off on this one, huh?
yeah,
A
we
little
did. But that's fine. If we can go way off again, Elden Ring has a new.
I thought
game
this was
coming out.
DLC. Apparently, it's just a new game.
Yeah, apparently.
It's supposed to be multiplayer.
From what I understood, yeah, it's like a team of 3 or a team of 4.
So it's like a
Let's check it out.
yeah.
So it's World of Warcraft, except you get to play.
But it's Elden Ring.
Yeah.
A lot of games have been pretty successful with that.
It's like a live service.
Hopefully not, because they haven't done that in their other games.
Look at that terrain. Oh, that's looking good. Yeah, that's looking good.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I love the first one, so still haven't played the DLC.
I still haven't played the first one.
Kim, you haven't finished Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
haven't finished
Shut the
games
fuck
from
up.
fucking 7 years ago.
I know.
You think you're gonna be? Oh, I'm really into this game from a year and a half ago. What new games do you play that aren't indie free games?
Well, I mean,
You
not
don't
just
even have to
indie free
speak.
games, but I mean, indie games I pay for too. But
I know that.
I played the new RoboCop.
Okay, fine. That's within the
Game
last
was
2
fucking
years.
lame.
Seekers of redemption. You were chosen.
Oh shit!
What?
Did we get
Can you
birds?
fly?
Forces beyond their control.
Oh, it just takes you
We
places.
glide. What are we doing here?
That was pretty cool.
Well, I hope it's not like top view, select your attack, and then it's one of those.
Well,
type
that's
of things.
yeah, that would suck.
That would really piss
If
me
it was
off.
like straight up old RPG.
Yeah. Because how are you going to blend a combo like that with,
Tragedy
your,
must
with a
be averted.
teammate?
And for that, I need your help.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this is actual just gameplay versus cinematic.
Yeah.
Like that. That's gameplay right there.
Yeah.
Stand tall.
Yeah, because in the
Oh yeah. See, the gameplay looks like it's still Elden Ring.
yeah.
There's like a little bit of wall climbing there. One of my favorite spells.
Little pillager.
Rogue.
Stacking the lands of gold.
What the fuck is that?
I will swat away any
Side
and
dragon?
all who dare approach.
Cerberus.
Awesome.
Band together
Oh, and then it actually
prepare
turns
to
into
play.
3?
Tree vagina.
I was going to
The
say the
life
same thing.
of the Night Lord.
Is this a standalone?
Yep.
That actually looks pretty fun.
It does look good.
I wonder if you can play it single player at all.
I saw single player playing it.
Well, that would be cool if you can. If they made it just to where it's
Xbox.
can.
What the fuck? Did you see that shit?
What did it say?
Xbox.
Is it Xbox only?
And
No,
PlayStation.
probably PlayStation,
Oh.
Xbox, and PC
Yeah.
more than likely.
Click to the end.
Oh, it's all there. Yeah, it's all one. I was thinking of a different game. That's not
What
on
did it
Xbox
say?
that I want to fucking play.
2025. Yeah, PS5.
PS5,
4.
PS4, Xbox, and Steam. So
Did you hear about the
Yeah.
new Xbox console?
No.
It's gonna have Steam.
Okay.
So all the exclusive ones for PlayStation only or PC only,
You can play
Yeah.
on it.
you can play on Xbox. All of them.
Well, that's actually brilliant by Xbox
Yeah.
because that's the only way they're getting them.
Well, yeah, but can you imagine the contract with Steam that they signed for that?
Oh, I'm
shit?
sure it was $1 billion.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And that's for a couple years.
Well,
I'm
look at it
going
this
to
way.
Get one of those consoles.
They've
the
already
moment they're
got
out.
Xbox Game Pass, so think of that coupled with Steam.
Yeah.
Whew.
See, I never liked Xbox.
I have Xbox Game Pass. I
Well,
like it.
just like
I use
like
it on
the
my
controller. I like the controller.
I've
a
always
lot.
I grew up on the PlayStation, so it's just
Yeah, see,
PC. Yeah.
second
I,
nature.
I like
have
them
it for
both.
my PC.
I like both the Xbox.
Of course
and
you do,
PlayStation
Mister
controllers.
Fence fucking sitter.
Hey,
All
I
right,
can't help
France.
it. I like them both.
Yeah.
They both contour to the hands very nicely.
The one that sucked though was the
You're talking about
64.
dicks?
I still like it, but I don't like the 64 controller. Still fucks with me.
Well, yeah, it's the weirdest one.
I don't know why they did that.
But it still had the game that got me into first-person shooters. GoldenEye.
Oh fuck yeah! I
That's
got
the
it
one
right
that
now.
got you in the first-person shooters.
That
That
that's
was
the,
the
one
first-person shooter. There was no
It-
other comparable games
No,
to
you
that.
had before that Doom and Wolfenstein.
No, it had to be 3D.
Quake.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Quake
Quake
was-
was still a little later, I think.
I like Quake.
No, I think
That was
Quake-
the first 3D model
Quake
character.
was
that you killed.
around, I think, around the same time as like GoldenEye and stuff. It was just
No.
yeah.
I think Quake was later.
No.
Quake.
Quake came out way before GoldenEye. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
GoldenEye
It-
came out in like '94.
Yeah, Quake came out in like maybe 89, 90.
No.
Hey, no, not that.
No.
Because Doom came out in '93.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, the original Doom came out in
First-person shooters
93.
didn't exist
When did-
before the
Oh,
'90s.
Quake was way. I guarantee you, Quake was way before GoldenEye.
Quake came out in 1996, and GoldenEye 1997.
There's no fucking way. I remember playing Quake when I was a fucking teenager. Like
You were still a teenager in
no,
'96.
I remember I moved here in '92, but I remember playing Quake at a friend's house in Wyoming when I lived there.
Doom, the original Doom came out December 10th, 1993.
Quake, the one that had 9-inch nails as the ammo for the first game, right?
Yep, the nail gun. Yep,
No
it
fucking
came out
way.
1996.
What about Heretic and Hexen? Those were
Oh, those were good too, man. I think Hexen was the second one.
and there was a Star Wars game too that came out around that time as well as a first-person shooter.
Heretic came out in '94.
What the fuck?
Hexen
Whoa,
came
whoa,
out.
Whoa.
Hexen came out also in '94, but it was the second one to Heretic. So
'Cause
came
Heretic
out
did
that
so
same
well.
year.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
First Wolfenstein, 1981. That's the first one.
Wolfenstein
81?
81.
Wow.
What?
Castle Wolfenstein came out in September of
Well,
1981.
Wolfenstein 3D though.
Yeah,
is the,
that's what it was. Wolfenstein 3D.
3D came out in 1992, so 1 year before.
So
Doom.
it was still the first one.
Yeah.
In '92. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, Wolfenstein.
My mind is blown right now.
Oh, and then
my
Duke
whole
Nukem
series
came out around the time, a little bit after.
ready for action.
Yeah.
That came out in 1996, so 3 years after Doom. Duke
And
Nukem
4
3D.
years after the first one.
Yes, the old side-scroller ones. Yeah.
Holy shit! Holy
And,
shit!
and I think before that, for like first-person shooter, were the arcade games with the guns.
Yes. Yes.
Those are the other ones.
And those were a bit before stuff like Doom and Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that's
you
fucking
know.
wild. I didn't realize
blew my
Wolfenstein.
mind.
I thought Doom was the first one, but no, Wolfenstein apparently.
Oh yeah, Wolfenstein
Yeah.
came out before Doom. I remember that. I could have said that, but I totally thought
But you
Quake.
didn't.
I thought Quake was coming out way before GoldenEye. But
Not
I was wrong
just
about
a
that.
year.
Yeah, because wasn't it the Dreamcast came out before or after 64? Was it the competitor? Because Genesis, I thought was the competitor. For
Well, there was the
64.
Genesis, then there was the
Genesis-
Sega Saturn, and then after the Saturn, it was the Dreamcast.
And I was gonna say Genesis was the 32-bit,
Yeah,
so that
it
was
had that little adapter you put on the top of it. or
Yeah, that
something
was
like
the 32X.
that was Super
The
Nintendo's
Yeah.
competitor.
That was
Oh,
the
that's right,
32X.
Super
The
Nintendo.
32X went into the top there.
Yeah.
And then Dreamcast, I think, was for the 64.
Dreamcast came out November 27th, 1998.
But it never took off because CDs didn't take off until PlayStation.
Sega Saturn release date was July 8th, 1995. And
So that was technically, I guess, the
So it went
the
3 years
competitor
before
for-
between
release. Between releases.
because
Well,
the
'cause
Saturn didn't do so well.
Did not at all.
No, even though it was a
neither-
decent system, I think it was, if I remember right, it was really expensive.
I was
at
going to say
first.
the other one that did terribly was the Neo Geo. one
Neo
that-
Geo.
not the original one. It did okay.
Yeah.
But their CD version,
Well, it's
which
'cause-
did shit.
Well, the Neo Geo was so expensive because you were literally playing arcade games on it.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
remember
mostly
that.
like fighters and stuff
That's
like
your
that.
rich
you
friend
know?
had that one. He went over to
Yeah,
play it.
they had
Oh,
those
it's so
big ass
cool.
cartridges. Remember
Yeah.
those?
No,
Yeah.
it was a fun system. I always
Yeah,
wanted one,
it
but never
was.
got one.
Yeah, they were just so expensive at the
I
time.
was so mad.
Yeah.
But
I'd look at it at Toys R Us all the time.
Yeah.
Just be disappointed.
And then there was also the Jaguar, which sucked ass.
Yeah.
And was really expensive. That did not do well either.
It's crazy. We're down to 2.
Yeah. All these
Basically,
other
it's still
companies.
well,
the Wii.
yeah, I guess. No, it's
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Switches now.
Oh,
so
Switch, that's right,
and they
Switch.
just they're releasing Switch 2 now.
Yeah,
they
come
just
on with a new
yeah.
Switch.
And the Switch, I don't own one, but I've played one over at
fun.
a friend's house. They're great. Yeah.
Well, and I think those are more targeted for the guys or the kids.
Kids and family.
Between like ages 5 and 12.
But
Well,
there's still some great games for adults.
Zelda,
Yes.
you can't
you
go
know,
wrong,
but-
dude. All
yeah.
the Zeldas they've came out with that for that system is fucking badass.
Yeah, I played. I
Breath
played
of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah, I've
great.
heard that was really
A lot
good.
of fun.
It's so good. And I heard the new Metroid game, Dread, is really good too.
Still think PC supremacy is where it's
Oh,
at.
I totally agree. PC is the
I'm not
master
gonna argue
race.
that. You can't argue that. Who's
you
going to
know,
argue that?
But I still
there's
obviously
people.
love consoles. I mean,
I like the simplicity of a console.
yeah,
You don't have to upgrade it.
plug and
No,
play,
that's
man.
the thing I do like about console is, I can just sit on my couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have to get up and go somewhere. Okay, I'll do that. And if I get bored, I'll watch YouTube.
yeah,
Super
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, they're nice.
But if I want to play something more intense, I'm going to the PC.
Yeah, and also PC, you know, when it comes to the games and stuff, it's like I feel like there's just a lot more variety when it comes. I mean, there's still variety on the consoles, but it's like with PC, you've also got a lot of indie games. You got a lot of like
Yeah, and
experimental
There's
games.
also a lot of
and-
things you can
There's
simulate.
porn
Yeah,
on the
there
PC.
there is porn.
Oh, yeah,
games
Sex
on
with
PC.
Hitler.
There's no porn on
Oh,
consoles.
did you hear about that game that got banned from Steam? I guess it was called No Mercy or something.
I
It
was
was
going
a
to say,
porn
how did
game.
Sex with Hitler
So,
not
no.
get
Yeah, I
fucking
know
banned?
that one didn't, but this one called No Mercy did because I guess it was like a rape simulator.
What?
Yeah, and it just recently happened.
Oh, that sounds like fun, though.
Yeah, you can get your itch in another way.
yeah,
I think there's probably more screaming.
yeah. Not as much pleasure.
Yeah. So what else did we have this week that was weird besides, I don't know,
Well,
Bill Maher?
Oh yes, Bill Maher. So Bill Maher went and had a famous dinner with Donald Trump. I guess Kid
And
Rock.
the left went fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, they went crazy. But I guess Kid Rock is a mutual friend of both of them and got them together for a dinner. And I guess that Bill Maher had a good time.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I've listened to the Bill Maher and Kid Rock podcast, and he was like, "No, you'd like him. You'd actually like him if you met him.
Yeah.
You may not like him now, but if you met him, you'd like him as a person."
Yeah.
And that's essentially what he was trying to do with this whole thing.
Just trying to bring them together and just say, hey, meet the guy.
Yeah.
And-
You guys can have completely different policies.
Yeah. Well, and so like Tim said, the left has lost their minds about this, and but Bill Maher, we've all seen the episode where he talks about it, and he goes into great detail about his experience there, and honestly, I think he is very straightforward, and he went in there expecting Trump that we all see on TV, and that's
Yeah.
not what he got. He got a
He
totally
got a guy that
different
was actually funny.
yeah. And so we got a little video here where it's a segment of Bill Maher's episode where he's kind of
We should be able to air it. It's like it's a comment on it.
yeah, and it's not SNL.
Yeah, for some reason SNL hates us.
SNL does not. We cannot put
Which makes
any
no
scenes
sense.
of
You should
SNL.
be able to comment. It's what is that called? The free
It's
something?
free
Freebasing?
Free
yeah,
use.
free basic fair use.
Fair use.
Yes, fair use. As long as you're doing commentary on something, you are legally able to watch videos and
Unless
and
it's
comment on them.
NBC.
Unless it's NBC and SNL, then they don't give a shit.
Who's
I love that
HBO's
freeze
parent
frame of him.
company?
He looks fucking great
Yeah.
in that picture.
He
Look
looks
at him.
Because remember, okay, so we tried to do an SNL segment where we were talking about one of the last couple episodes, and we had to I had to cut it out because YouTube would not let us put it up.
I think the way that you
And-
could get around that.
Rubble
and
let us do it.
I think the way that you can get around that is actually blurring the image behind
Yeah,
it. If you blur
probably,
that
yeah.
and just use the audio, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I've seen other podcasts do that.
You just can't show the actual
Yes,
video.
which makes no sense because it's still supposed to be
I
under
know.
fair use.
Well, because I remember we had this problem a while back ago. Remember when we tried to watch a segment from the Steven Seagal episode of SNL,
Yes.
and the same thing happened. And I totally forgot about that, but we had to cut that part out too.
Well, I also think it's because NBC hated that one so much. That's why you
Oh,
can
yeah.
only find very, very small segments
yeah,
of that one.
Lauren Michaels and NBC has tried to scour that
Yes,
from the internet.
they hate Steven
Scrub.
Seagal.
Huh?
Scrub it from the internet.
Scrub it. Thank you.
No, yeah, I liked it better when you said the wrong word.
Scour.
Scour the internet for something that's
Yeah.
been scrubbed.
Yes. So this is Bill Maher talk. A little segment of him talking about his dinner with Donald Trump.
He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days.
He described the Trump it factor. The way that Trump does politics
Do we need this
completely
part?
shifted
This
the
is
way
from
that
Fox.
we expect as voters for our politicians to
That's it.
communicate.
Now I
with
listen to
us.
the guy's commentary about it as well.
So-
God damn it, Kevin.
So my favorite part of the whole thing was Bill Maher
God damn it.
started out by saying, I brought this piece of paper that had 60 epithets, slurs, things that Trump had called Bill Maher.
Yes.
And he was like, I wanted to see if he would sign it. And he did sign
It's
it.
like, and
while,
he did.
while laughing because he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
He held it up for the screen with Donald Trump's
Yeah.
magic marker or Sharpie fucking signature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nice
like
for
he was
everything.
like he was signing one of his executive orders. But the fact that he was able to have like they could laugh it off.
He
Yeah.
was saying is like this was a genuine laugh. This wasn't a forced laugh from this side. I've been a comedian for so many years.
Yeah.
I know when someone's faking a laugh.
Yeah.
And this was genuinely laughing. This
And
guy.
he said that there were multiple times throughout the night that were like that, where Bill made some comment. Well, like one of the things he said was he pointed up to a picture of Reagan, Trump did, and he said, "You know what the best thing about this guy was? His hair." And Bill goes, "What about the whole Soviet Union collapsing?" And he's like, "Yeah, that too." And they had genuine time.
But he's asking him about policy and stuff like that. How would you handle it? Like he's asking him presidential questions as well. What would you have done different in this situation?
Yeah.
And Bill Maher was able to give his opinion on it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, there was stuff that I guess he was not trying to offend the president, but actually just to press his buttons.
He's being critical with him.
but the president was actually receptive to it. And it's like, that's not that's.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things he was talking about too was something that was going on during the Obama administration that Trump stopped, and he was like, "Oh, so me stopping that probably was not the greatest," that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I find it funny that any side would be pissed off about this. The fact that people from different sides are talking to each other, who gives a shit?
Well, it's not so
I
much
think
about
it's a
talking
good
to
thing.
each other. I think it's about him reporting on it and saying it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what everyone's so upset about.
there
He
were
didn't come
a
out
lot of people pissed that he
didn't-
even went.
He didn't come out saying he was the devil.
And that's
he was
what-
exactly like Hitler.
That's what they wanted.
That's what they
Yes.
wanted to hear. But instead, he's saying, "Hey, he's actually seems like a reasonable guy, and we actually had a good time."
Yeah.
And
I don't
he
agree with
was
his policies
receptive
or anything
to.
like that, but as a person,
They even laughed about the Trump suing him for calling his father an orangutan because orangutans are kind of orange.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My father's a good man," but they laughed about that, and that was during a very contentious time.
Well, and the thing is, this whole thing, this whole mentality where a person from one side can't talk to another or shouldn't talk to another, that is the worst way.
Families
to go
have
about
broken
things.
up over it.
Absolutely. And
know?
it's like, this is how
People can't see their children.
Yeah, it's insane. This is how a nation gets fractured down the middle and how civil wars end up starting because people don't just fucking talk to each other.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. I mean, it is a problem though. And something like this is something like this is important to happen. We should have people from opposite sides getting together and talking. And
Well,
the fact that Trump's
now-
open to doing that is a good thing.
I was gonna say now you're talking about it like the way some people were talking about it, like he just ended nuclear war.
Well, I mean,
Bill Maher going there.
There's
if
so
I
many
could
people
change,
upset
then
about.
you could change, and we could change.
The whole
Not quite.
tariff thing that he's doing is just throwing throwing everyone for a loop. I mean,
Yeah.
China is gone fucking berserk over it.
Oh yeah, because they're trying
My
to.
money's gone berserk over it.
Well,
yeah, stock markets
yeah.
just can't make up its mind because it's so unpredictable what's going on with it.
Well, and in China, they're trying to put on this on the outside. They're putting up this sort of strong, face forward of this whole thing. But on the inside, from what everybody's talking about, is that people are losing their shit in China. Like,
yeah.
They're saying that like all throughout
We're their
China,
number one
it's
customer.
despair that is being felt.
Yeah,
yes,
we're their number one customer.
Exactly. Ships are not going out because we do a third of the buying in the whole world.
Some guy was saying, "What am I going to do with 1,000 lightsabers?" Of course, I don't fucking care.
But China, and I mean Xi Jinping, his grip on the CCP and his grip on power has become pretty tenuous because of all this. And actually, the tariffs. One of the things that's happened that a lot of the people I've been watching, people that are in China and speaking to people in China, saying that Trump has basically put Xi Jinping in a corner because Xi Jinping he can't capitulate and come to
other countries
to a
aren't backing
deal.
him up.
No,
he's
they
reaching
aren't.
out to other countries. Hey,
and they're saying no.
Why? Why would we do that for you?
Yeah, and so Xi Jinping, he has to look strong, or the two factions that have been putting pressure on him within the Chinese government and are wanting to take him
Revolt.
down. Exactly. So he's in a bad place right now.
I'm saying you're speaking revolts me.
Oh, fuck you. But, Xi Jinping is in a bad spot right now. And, there's this secret document that I guess got leaked
It's Japanese. That's not
there's
God
this
damn it.
secret
be every
document
time.
that got leaked that Xi Jinping put out this plan of how he wants to go about handling this with America. And apparently the Chinese in the government do not like this plan, and they are a lot of them are they're
Against it?
voicing their concerns about it. Yes.
Disagreeing
And
with
absolutely. Well,
I
the
like
thing
how
is,
he's looking for a word that's
and the
easily
thing
right there.
In China,
liking it?
disagreeing from the head guy is not good. You can disappear.
Yeah.
But the fact that people are openly disagreeing shows that Xi Jinping's losing his grip.
Now,
And
if this would have happened in North Korea, we wouldn't have heard about it.
right. And the thing is, though, there are purges going on in the PLO, which is the party of Xi Jinping. He has been purging people.
I like how you almost lost it. on Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. But he has been purging people in the PLO because why do communists purge people? Because they're starting to get paranoid and starting to worry about their position.
Or they might have some sense.
Well, that too. But apparently the word is he may have purged one of his guys that was like one of his head military guys in Taiwan,
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna start disappearing people.
Yes.
Out of fear, not necessarily out of evidence, out of fear.
Absolutely. And so that's and the people that have leaked this document now, they say that, like, for instance, this is
See, they need a Bill Maher over there.
I agree, they do.
He's got this up on the screen. It's just fucking words. Let's read along,
So
everybody.
this
Here
is-
we go.
But his
Pause
plan-
your video. Read
Bouncing
this whole
ball
thing.
on every fucking word.
so-
and it lights up as he says it.
So
He sings it like it's a fucking karaoke.
So his plan is that he wants to have strategic.
Can you do this in
cooperative-
song, Kevin?
Sure, if you want me to. But he wants to have strategic cooperative relations with Russia, Iran, and North Korea as a cornerstone of international politics to cope with Trump's challenge. And
You sound echoey.
I know. It sounds like I'm inside of a vagina.
That's a pretty big vagina, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. That sounds unrealistic to me.
So he wants to find a way to basically break the United States' hold that we've had over the world since World War II. And
Yeah, they tried that with bricks.
but they also Mao Zedong tried this exact same plan and it didn't fucking work and it screwed up China for years. And so
Can't
Xi
wait for that.
Jinping-
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too. Xi Jinping's apparently going to try doing the same fucking thing. And
It'll work this time.
That's
so
the problem with communism. They keep trying
they
it.
keep doing the same goddamn shit over and over again and it doesn't seem
No,
to
this
work.
time it'll be different.
Yeah, no, we're better people.
Things have changed.
Yeah. No, people don't do the exact same things if you put them in the exact same situation.
So they want to try to Xi Jinping wants to try to get into a position where he can choose the battlefield if we go to war with them, and that would be Taiwan and the Taiwan Strait, because there they have home field advantage, which they would
except that we kind of have home field advantage on the water.
Well, yeah, but the thing
they
is,
have one aircraft carrier. We have 7.
But them being closer to home, this is what they're thinking.
Yeah, they're
them
dumb.
being closer to home, they'll have a better chance to be able to get troops out faster.
Except we have the best logistics system in the entire fucking world.
Of course we do. I'm not arguing that this is going to.
I'm telling you, your plan is stupid, Kevin. Your plan
It's not my
sucks.
plan. It's Xi Jinping's plan.
Somebody call him. We're going to get this fixed.
God,
you should know better.
He's saying that they want to try to destroy the U.S. military bases in Japan, South Korea, Guam, and the Philippines under the condition of U.S. military intervention, and they want to try to push.
This is not a false flag for us to get into war with them?
Well, it could be. I mean, this was gotten by a.
We've done that before.
Well, yeah, but this is
Vietnam.
This information was gotten by a Chinese professor who has been exiled from China, but still has contacts in the CCP.
Isn't that the same thing that happened last time? I'm making it all up. I have no idea.
Well, who knows? Maybe it did. But the point is that if this is real, and these are really Xi Jinping's plans, and the plans have already pissed off his own people, my guess is he's probably not going to have the kind of support he needs to get these plans off the ground anyway. And apparently, from what apparently recently they had a military exercise. And apparently, China, they couldn't even get their military exercise put together, and it actually fell apart. So if they can't even get military exercises to go well, how are they going to fight a whole fucking war?
They want it to look that way.
I think that it's about. That's the thing about China. It's about, how they look, appearances. Yeah. That's it. Like, they got the big ghost cities. They've got, they actually paint like the fucking ground green to make it look like there's grass. So when people fly, have the satellites looking down on them, it looks like there's grass there. I mean, really, it's just
they fly balloons
rock.
over us, spying on us.
But so I mean, Xi Jinping's in trouble, and I think that Trump.
Oh no!
Trump, yeah. Oh no! Was it Christopher Robin?
Oh no, Christopher!
Yeah. I
don't think I can do that.
I think this tariff thing is.
I can't either.
I think this tariff thing is a great strategy against China.
Mine's more Minnie or Mickey
because it's been working. It's putting them in a shitty place.
Well, I can't wait for the false flag that gets us into this one.
Hey,
I think Wesley Clark was quoted as fucking saying that like every war we've ever been in except 9/11 was a false flag.
Oh yeah, there was that Wesley Clark said that he saw
the
that
7
document.
countries?
Yeah, the 7 countries document where
the only one that we haven't attacked is Iran.
Yeah, and the whole plan was they wanted to take out those countries within like a 10-year period or something like that, and then obviously it took. Well,
why do you think the Bush administration wanted to attack Iran the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
The whole time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
literally the entire fucking administration.
Well, hey.
They had plans to go into Iraq before 9/11.
Absolutely. And, I mean, 9/11 was just a good excuse.
Yeah, because, his dad, the $2 trillion that the Pentagon had missing, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They always fail their audits. They always fail their audits.
They just lost another $2 trillion.
Oh.
I wonder what's going to get attacked in the U.S. next.
I wonder.
Now, I'm not one of those 9/11 conspiracy guys, but there's a lot of weird shit.
Oh, yeah. Like the whole Building 7 falling down for no reason at all. That was weird.
Pull it. That's a quote.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a quote from the guy. The guy that owned that building. Pull it.
Pull it. Let's take it down.
Now, there's a lot of people taking that quote and saying that, that's a demolition slang. No, it's not. Never was. But it does sound weird.
Yeah, and it's odd that it fell down in what looked like a controlled demolition the same fucking day that the 9/11 happened. Odd timing.
It happened on 9/11.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are
Bring
talking
in that
about.
doo-doo-doo again. Yeah. It's weird. All right, we're going too off the rails. We might as well end it here.
We are going off the rails. Getting into 9/11 truther shit.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? This is a perfect ending to it. All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening, and, stay tuned. Goodbye.